friend, it's Pat Sloan here on the last video for November. Yeah, next week is December. Holy cow. So we have a very fun thing today because I moved all of the Cape May using Rachel Rossi's Bee Haven fabric from Benartex to today because I have Rachel here. We did a video the other day and I'm so excited for you to meet her, and she's going to tell us about her fabric, and I'm just delighted. So sit back and let's listen. Hi, everybody. We're going to do something really fun and a little different today. As you can see, I have Rachel Rossi here, and she is the designer behind Bee Haven, which is the fabric line that I'm just so obsessed with. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, thanks so much for having me today.
I'm so excited to chat with you. You and I were on one of the Benartex things together, I think when you were talking about this fabric.
Yes. Yep, that was my first fabric release, and I was excited to be on with Pat Sloan.
Oh, where do you live at? What part of the country?
I'm in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Ah, yeah, a lot of people know where that is. So
Yes.
it's well, the reason why I was very excited about this fabric, besides your beautiful designs, is also about the type of fiber that it is put on, which is a little bit different, and it's gorgeous. It feels wonderful. Why don't you just give me like a little backstory as to how you kind of got hooked up with Benartex and working with this more organic fabric?
Yeah, so I've been looking to get into fabric design since I was a small child. My mom owned a quilt shop, and I've been around the industry for a very long time and just always loved it. So I've worked with customers, I've seen the scraps that you can create over like even my short lifetime, and I wanted to do something that was a bit more sustainable, and that would work towards just better fabrics for people and for the planet. So when I got started with Benartex, we kind of talked a little bit, and I said, "Would you guys do an organic line?" And they were like, "We want to, we just don't know how it'll do." So we're introducing these more sustainable, more affordable fabrics, kind of at the start here. And basically what we did is we worked to create a cotton layer that is unbleached, and then it has an Oeko-Tex certification. So what that means for customers is that it's totally non-toxic. Everything's tested. It's like such a clean fabric when it gets to you. And then by skipping the bleaching process, we're working towards more water sustainable solutions. So you're skipping a huge chemical process that requires a lot of rinsing and water treatment. So it's not pretty to talk about, but
Yeah.
it's part of it. And I'm really excited to be doing something different. And a beautiful byproduct of that is that the fabric is super soft. When I felt it for the first time, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
It just feels really different, really soft, and it has a really subtle little, almost like not even a freckle, like whatever's less than a freckle to it, that just makes it like so natural and textured.
Mhm.
So
I was really, really pleased with how it felt. I mean, that just like sold me totally because I
yeah.
think in the past, particularly if anybody's been around for a long time, organic things tended to be a little rougher and, but
Mm.
this isn't like that. The processes are so amazing. Uh, Now, okay, so that is really cool. I really am happy that you brought that up with them and it all went forward. Just everybody should go get some of it just so you can experience it. Right, right. Tell me now, just go walk through the design just a little bit, how you approached your first line, because like you said, you've been around fabric so much. What made you kind of do this particular line?
Yeah, so I'm one of those people that likes to do a little bit of everything. So if you saw my house, you'd be like, oh, she's one of those. So I'm big into gardening. And a couple summers ago, I was washing dishes, and my neighbor had this huge lavender plant, just the biggest thing you've ever seen. And it got to be over the summer that I really enjoyed doing the dishes because I liked watching all the life around this massive plant because it's like such a strong smell. All the pollinators are all over it. So I would just be watching bees and little butterflies, and I was like, this is just, I want to bottle this up.
Yeah.
And around that time, I was working on designs for my first line, and I said, you know what, this would be really cool to just like start with lavender and bees. And kind of go from there. So I worked with my design team, and we expanded it to kind of like pollinator friendly plants. So there's like cone flowers and yarrow,
I
all
love
the smelly
coneflowers.
good
Yeah.
things. Yeah. And then we ended up adding in this little cabbage butterfly that is just like the most sentimental bug. If you can
Yeah.
say there's a sentimental bug,
Right.
that's the one we all chased around as kids. And so it just kind of evolved over time, and it was really it was a fun first line for me.
I love that you have, you really nailed like having the different scale of fabrics for us to work with as the makers who are using a lot of the whole line at once.
Mhm.
That's so important to be able to have like not everything is, one big or little or medium. You get some variety in there. I like the honeycomb too because it's so stylized.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a big part of Benartex bringing me on, was to kind of bring a different view. If you've seen my patterns, they're not your standard quilt patterns. They're a little outside of the box.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we played with kind of the like pretty pretty realistic drawings of the cone flowers, but
Right.
then going down to these really simplified, stylized backgrounds and kind of mashing them all up.
When you draw your lines, do you start out on paper and then go to computer? How do you kind of approach it?
That's a great question. I actually draw everything onto my computer. So they call it a Wacom tablet. And so I'm drawing on a I don't know, not quite a screen, but
Yeah.
a tablet. And then it pops up onto my computer.
That,
Yes,
that's
just
a
like that.
Wacom tablet. This is a little
Yeah.
one though. That's
Yeah. Yep. So I do everything in there. That way it kind of preserves the ability to edit and move lines and recolor things. So yeah.
yeah, your drawings are gorgeous. So they're just
Thank
really,
you.
really beautiful. I know that you have a few of your paper patterns sitting there. Maybe just hold up
Mhm.
a couple of them that
Yeah.
showcase because we're doing, here's the jelly roll folks that we're working with. So we're doing the one called Cape May,
Mhm.
and then you
Yep.
have a
So
few others.
yeah, so this is Breezy. I'm
Oh, look
sorry I
at
don't
that
have quilts for you
purples.
guys today, but this guy's so big I honestly wouldn't be able to fit it in the
No,
frame.
you wouldn't. He's big. Ah,
So this one's really fun. This makes you kind of like a pinwheel pro, is what I
yeah.
say. There's like pretty much all the tips and tricks you need to conquer pinwheels, and then it has tons of sizes.
Your
Um,
patterns are amazing. That's a
well,
lot
thank
of
you.
work. That's a lot of work. And they're like little mini books.
They
They're,
are like little.
yeah, they're a great value because you have all the different sizes. You have a lot of directions. Your directions are really, really good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I set out to do. Like I said, growing up in my mom's shop, I saw a lot of patterns. I
Yeah.
heard a lot of complaints, and so a
Yeah.
lot of them was like, we just want sizes for everything. We don't want to do the math.
Right.
So
We
yeah,
don't
they
want to
are
do the
like
math.
little
Right.
books.
Nobody wants to do the math about the
Right.
pattern. That's
That's my job.
yeah.
So so that was Breezy. That one's really, really fun. This is Dresden's in Bloom.
Oh, gorgeous.
I kind of got crazy with Dresden plates this year.
Yeah.
My one quilt called Hover was kind of like my gateway quilt into Dresden's. So that one's been really popular so far.
Yeah.
And then this is Slap Happy. This is like your weekend quilt when you need to get something
Yes.
done. Um, there's
And that
actually
does that one use the panel or could use the panel?
You could. It actually chops everything up. It's actually great if you have scraps at the end of your
Oh, okay.
project. It's
Yeah.
great for long, skinny scraps. But yeah, you could throw a panel in here for sure. And this one's fun. There's a paid version with all the sizes, and there's a free version with just the baby size.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can get that on my website.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time, and I'd love to hear what your next line is going to be like for Benartex.
Yeah, so my next line coming out is called Modern Vintage. Um, and it's hopefully the beginning of a series of modern vintage
Yeah.
prints. So, like I said, I do everything. So I'm a big time antique girl. And so this all started with a vase, a little milk glass vase like that we probably a lot of us have inherited or found in an antique store. And then it evolved. It's the evolution of the design is always the best part. It evolved into this poppy print. So here I've got a by Annie bag that showcases the poppies.
Yeah.
Um, and then I can show you my little
And
vases.
is that teal or is it blue, the background?
It's somewhere in between.
In
It's kind
between,
of like
okay.
a dusty teal, which
Yeah.
is my like it's just my soul color.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a dusty teal and like a terracotta orange. It's not
Yeah.
quite red, not quite orange.
Right.
So that's super fun. And we even did a little fussy cut on the strap.
Oh, I love that.
And that's one of those vases. So I'm a sucker for a fussy cut.
Yeah. Me too. I love it.
Um,
Get those great images. Showcase.
right? I
Yeah.
know we worked hard on those.
Yeah.
Um, so this is some
Oh,
of the vases. So you see
yeah.
the milk glass and the hobnail.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
nice.
just really fun. And again, it's not brown, it's not tan, it's not
Yeah.
gray, it's
Right.
somewhere in between.
Taupe. Shade of taupe.
A beautiful taupe. And I can back you up a little bit because I can actually show you this quilt. Hopefully my
Okay.
whole system doesn't come tumbling down. Um,
This is
so
a sneak peek, everybody, because the
this
line
is a sneak peek.
screen, the
Very
screen, so you
sneak.
get to see it. Yeah. Oh, that is awesome, Rachel. Love it. So cool.
So, and this pattern incorporates a little pre-cut from each of the fabrics, so you get
Yeah.
to see everything.
Yay.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming down the line
Oh,
that I'm
that is
very excited about.
very, very fun. So, so from a standpoint of what you do besides the fabric and the patterns, do you do any kind of online teaching or any of those kind of things?
Yes, so I'm working on building a bigger library of on-demand courses. So those are kind of building slowly as the patterns come out. And I do a lot of blogging, so free tutorials, video tutorials. I know you guys love video,
Yeah.
and so I'm kind of working on that. So like applique kind of tutorials, bias tape applique, things that are a little that I incorporate into my patterns that sound scary but are really
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do tutorials on. So yeah.
Oh, good, good. So everybody should, do you do it like a newsletter they can sign up for or
Yes.
something, get
Yep.
notices? Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
I have a newsletter, so you can sign up on my website. It's www.rachelrossi.design, not .com,
Right. That
.design.
design. I noticed that. It's like, oh, cool. That's
Yeah, it's cool, but it's confusing.
yeah, well, that's people get used to it. Yeah. I'll put a
Yeah.
link under the video
Okay.
here and in the description box and in the pinned comments so you can get directly. You can just Google Rachel Rossi and you'll probably come right up. Or Rachel
Yes.
Rossi quilt. That usually
Yes.
gets you right to your website. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, Rachel, this has been so much fun. I am adoring the pattern and working with your fabrics. And I have like I asked Benitex to send me like lots of the of the panel. So I have a little bit. I have a little bit. So I look forward to seeing that next line too. What's it called again?
Modern vintage.
Oh, modern vintage. Yes,
Mhm.
that's right. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank
See you
you.
later.
Happy sewing.
Isn't that fun? Rachel is awesome. So you want to, if you're out there watching videos, if you like to watch videos since you're on YouTube, I assume you do, you can go join her channel and then you can find her on Facebook and Instagram as well. And of course she writes at her website and she has a newsletter. So you want to get in on all those things. And okay, so I have got the blocks. And I want to tell you, I'm going to give you a little bit about how I trimmed them and then looking at color placement. So even though we're working with just 5 blocks, sometimes that's color placement is even more important, at least it is to me, with less blocks than with more. With more, you can kind of spread it out, but with less blocks, you're like, boom, your eyes are like really focused. And so let's take a look at some things about these blocks. Remember when you're trimming with a square, that if you've got an angle like here, we have a seam this way, you could be doing it the other way as well, but you've got that seam, and if you've got the size that you want, you have to take the point of that size and get it where that cross section is on both of here and here, and then trim two sides and then rotate it and trim the other two sides. Because if you do something like this, you pull it down to the corner, then this is off center. You've just, you don't have this even anymore, and the center of your block now is shifted down and it is no longer in the center. So what you're doing is you're keeping the diagonal on this diagonal seam, you're looking for the number it should be, and that should be at this other diagonal, should hit right at the other diagonal, and this one should hit at the lower diagonal. Then I'll trim two sides and rotate it and trim the other two sides. Let me just trim two sides. I cannot do that one-handed. Here are the first two sides trimmed. And then when I rotate, you could do this on a rotating mat. This is a little bit big for my medium-sized rotating mat. But if I wanted to rotate it, I will just take the ruler off and flip it. Now these are where they should be. This is the block size. That's what you want to put down here now. Now you can angle it so that your block size is right here, nestled in the corner, and you cut the other two off. So you should always be trimming four sides when you're trimming up basically a square to keep the center of the block in the center. Here are the 5 blocks with the flange, all the pieces using the jelly roll. Now I'm looking at color balance. What I've noticed is that the 4 of them have the honeycomb. There's only a tiny bit of honeycomb in this one, so I put that one in the middle. So I balance a little bit more honeycomb. These 2 have the larger strip, so I'd rather not have them next to each other. So I will switch and put one at the bottom. Hold on. There. So now that one's left, left, and this is right, right. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's the 4 of them. I mean, that's the 5 of them. And what I want to do now is put up the one block that I didn't like and tell you why. So here's the block that I didn't care for. What happened is this is giving a visual that I didn't care for. So, and this also is connected here and connected down there. So it's like the same fabric. And even though this is in here, this is reading to the right and reading to the left because that sort of sticks out, and I don't care for the image that creates. So that one I'll probably just slice it up because I'm never going to use that block as is, or I might just, cut it down the middle or undo like the seam here and then maybe use it on the back, like make one more block, and so that I could, switch it up, maybe use something on the back, but whatever. But this one I won't use, I'll take it out. One last look at the 5 blocks I'm going to use and the order I'm going to keep them in, because next week I will cut all of the strip fabric or the panel fabric, just like Rachel's pattern says, and that'll finish this up. I'm just really excited about this. It's going to go for a baby quilt for a new baby coming in our family, and I'm just really, really happy about that. So I have a purpose for it. So here is the fabric. This is the fabric that is the panel, and there's some other patterns she uses with this panel. One is where it's showcased in the middle, and the one she held up with, you could use this for that one that's the slices. I think that you can get that after you sign up for her newsletter. The free version, I think that's the one. But this is what we have. So I am super excited. Next week we will cut into that, and then the week after we'll sew it. So if you haven't joined in yet, you can get the download or you can buy the pattern and join, because it is so much fun, so much fun. Now I did forget, I forgot that there was more cutoffs from this that I used for another project. I don't know if you remember that, but I said I'm going to do this and put it in the middle of my dining room table. So there we go. So, oops, no, that's upside down. Is that upside down? Yeah. Yes, no, maybe. So here's the coffee mugs. Oh, I did them all so that they're going the same. All the coffee mugs have the top to the center. And here, well, I guess I usually like what's wrong with me? I can't get this correct. Okay, here we go. So It's going to be on the top of the table in the center of my dining room table, and I'll put something in the middle, but then it'll go with the plot twist, and then I'll do a pillow. I'm so excited. And I even bought more of the coffee fabric because, you know, I got to have coffee fabric. That might go in the 100 blocks. I might add that in the 100 blocks somewhere, because that's going to have a lot. I'm going to have a lot of novelty fabrics in there. That's what I decided. So I think that would be super, super fun. Okay, I did have a couple of cards that came because I was filming before my birthday. And so here is from Mary in Michigan. Mary in Michigan. Ah, the donut's so cute. So cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this one is from Washington State. Where we got? Linda. So pretty. Mwah, mwah. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget to download the project calendar. So you get the projects, you know what's going on. It's got the 2 pages. And our next block Wednesday, which just starts in a mere 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is, till the first week in January. Yeah, I know, 2025. So do those and have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.